Hey guys, welcome back. It's recap time. I wasn't gonna do it, but there were some people in the chat during the live stream that were like, "Hey Rattle, you gonna do the cool recap thing that you do at the end?" Yes, we absolutely will. We're gonna do some math. I know you guys love to do math, but if you'd like to watch if you don't want spoilers, don't look at the screen right now. There's some of the hits on the screen, but we opened 40 ETBs, and unfortunately, spoiler right here, that it wasn't quite enough. I kind of had a pretty good idea that there's no way we were ever going to get all 120 or however many baby shinies there are. Those are some hard boys to complete. You get them pretty often, but there are so many different ones that this set, I would be very surprised if anyone in the history of time ever opens this thing in its entirety, especially in one sitting. So here we have it. We have the opening link below if you want to watch it. We're going to compare our numbers to the numbers that were put out on the old Paldean Fates pull rates by the TCG Player Infinite here. Let's see how our numbers stack up against their numbers. They did this with a sample size of 1,500 or more booster packs. Now, I still think that isn't enough to really determine for sure what's going on. There's a little bit of I guess we don't really know unless somebody's talked to someone that works at the facility whether or not some of this stuff overlaps. Like, are these full arts the same as these full arts? Should these be in the same category, or are they separate? Should these be in the same category? Like, are the hyper rares and the SIRs the same rate? Are they in the same kind of slot, if you will? Also, we don't have booster boxes for this specialty set. Specialty sets don't have booster boxes. As I've kind of always said on the channel, it is my opinion, it is my thought process that basically anything other than booster boxes is going to be inconsistent unless you get like a giant sample size. And when you get that giant sample size from, regardless, I don't care if it's 3-pack blisters, I don't care if it's booster bundles, I don't care if it's elite trainer boxes. Once you get enough of those, it'll basically turn into booster box rates. Now, the booster boxes, you're gonna say, Rattle, why the hell are the booster boxes so consistent? Well, if they're putting the packs in order, you're gonna kind of get that algorithm. You're gonna get pretty much the kind of 36 packs in a row. They go into the box, so you're gonna get a pretty good, idea of what you're gonna get per booster box. Now, no, not all booster boxes are gonna have some super cool chase card. They're not necessarily gonna have like the Sword and Shield alt arts or stuff like that. But yeah. That's the theory. Thank you very much for everyone who's watching the stream, everyone that's been shopping on PSA Pikachu. You guys know that the Pokemon market is a little bit hard right now. It is especially hard on the small game stores. So whenever you can, whenever possible, support your small game store of choice. And if you don't have one that you'd rather support, PSA Pikachu is a great place to do so. He's still got, I think, 40 or so of the Paldean Fates ETBs. Grab some of those. I'm surprised. I usually don't like the sets with the not very many cards in the main part of the set because I don't like seeing the same cards over and over again. I like the bigger set number. Maybe not as much chase as some of the sets I've had. If you're in Canada, you can go to dosecards.ca. If there isn't a better coupon code available, you can use our code RATTLE5. And thanks to everyone who has been using the link tree here, all the discount codes, those support the channel. It helps greatly, and it's a great way to support me, what I do, without actually sending me any money. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to go in here, to click on this stuff before you go in, to use the discount codes, get yourself a good deal on. I'm only putting good things on here. I'm not going to put some garbage. I'm not going to lead you astray. There's no mystery box or anything. No 10% off a mystery box where you can get shafted in the butt. Buy some stuff that's good for you, for your collection, and save while doing so. A bunch of other stuff as well. Speaking of TCG Player, you can click here before you shop on TCG Player, and you will help support me. Thank you. Everyone that's been clicking this, it's been working amazing. I'm glad, and I'll also be looking to add more discount codes in the future, so stay tuned for that. See, we got PSA Pikachu and Dose Cards up in the top here. So, if you can't remember, the link tree is always there. Bookmark it if you gotta. Are you ready? Let's go through all of these one at a time. I guess we'll start with the EXs. We had 47 total. Again, we opened 40 ETBs, 360 packs. So our data is less reliable than that of the TCG Player. But again, I think you'd probably want a few thousand packs before you could start saying anything for certain. I do believe that all of the all of the specific rarity. There's not like one that's more rare than the others. I know a lot of people were going on about the IRs. They were like, what the hell? I keep getting the same IR. We had that a little bit. I don't know if there is a little bit of like a batching kind of thing going on with those. But again, if there's only 3 options, it's kind of like flipping a coin. Like you can flip a coin. You can get tails like 3 times in a row. And you'd be like, what the hell? It's rigged. Not necessarily. So we got 47 EXs. These are the duplicate EXs here. The nice Stackerino. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that a lot of the set was reprints. I don't know. Reprints don't really do it for me. You guys probably know that. I said that a million times. But we got 47. And out of 360, that gives us an old, if we divide it by 360 packs, we get a 0.131, which is basically a 13% chance of getting an EX when you open any individual pack, provided they're not tampered with. Again, I don't know in terms of tampering. Just buy your packs, buy your stuff, your sealed products from somewhere that's extremely reputable. If they're the first people to own it, and it's a game store that would not ruin their reputation over that, then yeah, you should be in good hands. Now, IRs. IRs are something special. I wish the whole set would have been IRs instead of like baby shinies, big shinies. Just like IR shinies, the entire set would be pretty sick. I would imagine that would cost them a whole lot more. The artists have to put a whole lot more work into something like this, I would imagine, than something very basic like the baby shinies. So maybe that's why, but or maybe they just don't want to wear out the IRs. I just feel like there should have been more IRs. The IRs got a little bit bland, pulling the same 3 over and over again. We got 29 of them total. That was the 3 that I'm putting in my binder. And here are the duplicates. They came out to be very even. It was 10 of each and 9 of the Wug Trio. So they were clumped. They were definitely clumped. I found some clumping, whether that was oopsie doopsie clumping, whether it's a real thing, whether it's in our head. I think the first 5 cards that came out, the first 5 IRs that came out were pommies. So do with that what you will. But regardless, as you can see, they're all in the product. They all come out to be very, very equal if you open enough packs. Not saying you should open enough packs to find out, but we certainly did. If we opened one more pack and there was a Wug Trio, it would have been a perfect 10-10-10. So IRs, 29. We got 29. We divide that by 360 to give us a 0.095 or a 9.5% chance of opening any individual pack and getting an IR. So it's pretty frequent. EXs, IRs, very frequent. TCG player, they didn't have their numbers for EXs, so I guess they just didn't bother with those. But for the IRs, TCG player had 1 in 14, which is a 0.071. So we did have above what TCG player had. They're saying it should be a 7.1% chance. We had a 9.5% chance based on ours. Again, I think the data just needs to be bigger, ours especially. So now we're going to also, for the fun of it, we're going to compare what it would be in booster box terms. Since a lot of people like to think that way, they're like, what are the odds of how many do you get per booster box? Well, there's no booster boxes, but if we had a hypothetical booster box here, you'd be getting 2.6 IRs per booster box. So you'd probably 2 or 3. So it's right in there. It's almost, when they do sets like this, it kind of messes everything up. Like they got a tiny regular set that they have. I think it's 120 baby shinies. They have 3 IRs. Like the proportions are like way off, and we've seen that a little bit with the main sets where they're like, what's a good example here? Obsidian Flames. So like Obsidian Flames, it's very easy to get all the IRs because there's only 11 of them, I guess, in the set. There's just like 12 that get transferred over, and 1 gets used for ETB, 1 or 2 gets used for ETB. But when you have 3 sets combined and you have 34 or 35 IRs in a set, then it becomes very difficult to complete. And that I knew exactly that was going to be the absolute hard mode mega difficulty is completing the baby shinies in this thing. There's just too many of them. Even though you get them very often, we're gonna cover that next. Anyway, IRs 2.6 per booster box, so between 2 and 3. So they're almost in like the territory of like the gimmick cards, as I like to call them. Whether they be like a break, whether they be like an amazing rare or something like that. They're kind of like amazing rare rarity, even though they're not amazing rare, even though we're used to them being kind of a larger portion of the set. Next, we have baby shinies. Now, they do not shy away from the baby shinies, or the shiny rares, I guess, if you want to call them that. We got 66 individual ones. So more than half in 40 Elite Trainer boxes, but like, man, when you get towards the end and you're just looking for a few, like, it's not easy. We did get a Pikachu, we got the Charmander, we got the Charmeleon, so we got like the expensive ones. I mean, a lot of these are going to be inexpensive. It's basically Shining Fates all over again. I guess I can show these a little bit better. Basically Shining Fates all over again, where the baby shinies, maybe they're under, I kind of feel like they're underappreciated a little bit, maybe undervalued a little bit, because is this going to be something that people want years from now, where they're like, remember the sets that had 120 baby shinies in it? How cool would it be to have like a binder full of those, or complete the set itself, or complete all the Fates ones, or complete all the Shining sets? It doesn't seem like they're going to stray from that pattern of making more Shining sets, so maybe then we get, there'll be Shining. I'm sure there's already Shining collectors, right? So here they are in all their glory, all of our baby shinies. I didn't get either of the mice, the Mousehold, or the Tandem Mouse, which is kind of sad, but it's okay. We'll grab them. We'll grab them on Troll and Toad with code Rattle5 maybe. Let's see here. We got baby shinies in here. These are the spare baby shinies. All right. Some of them cool. Some of them, I mean, some of the shinies are more cool than others. I like the old ones when they used to do like lemon, lime, green on a lot of the Pokemon, similar to the Clefite years there. But here are the dupes. It's a shame these duplicate Wingles weren't Pikachus. That would be a good time, but unfortunately not. Next, what do we got? All right, baby shinies, 94. We got 94 total. Which gives us the old, again, we're dividing by 360 because that's how many packs we opened, and we're getting a rate of a 0.261, so basically a 26% chance that you pull a baby shiny from a pack. That is high. You're getting baby shinies pretty frequently, and I think that kind of makes the set less boring. Then like Hidden Fates was bad. Hidden Fates, I can't remember how many are in the main set, but like Hidden Fates was the first part of the set. It might have been like 60 cards or something, but you were seeing the same cards over and over again. You're basically just looking for the shinies at the end. Like, are you getting the shiny or are you not getting the shiny? And again, it's more of an issue when you're opening a lot of the product, and is it really? It's the most first world issue of all time. So 26.1% chance. They had a 1 in 4, which is a 25% chance of getting a baby shiny, which would give you, if there were booster boxes, would probably put us at around 9 baby shinies per booster box, that's a lot. That's a lot of baby shinies. All right, now let's see what we got here. We got a big shinies, or shiny ultra rares. Is that what we're calling them? Big boy shinies, full art shinies. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got a good selection here. I'm gonna have to see. We'll go on to the old pkmn.gg and check off our list to see what we're missing. But I think I'm missing the Esparta. I think that might be the only one that we're missing in the big shinies. But we have those, and we gotta find them here. Here's the big shinies. I should have them in separate piles, but we don't. And there we go. Man, I got more tentacles than a hentai on a Sunday. We got an extra Mew, that's a good one to have. Probably more. Definitely good to, if you're gonna hit dupes, to hit something that you can recoup a little bit of the value. If you're gonna open a lot of cards, you're hoping for, if you're gonna dupe, which you're bound to on a set like this. It's just gonna happen. Big shinies. All right, ultra rare shinies, big shinies, whatever you want to call them. We got 26 total, including duplicates, and if we divide that by 360, we get 0.072, or a 7.2% chance of getting one in any particular pack that you open. They had a 1 in 13, which is a 0.077, so pretty close to what they had, and that would give you a 2.8. or usually 3 per booster box if booster boxes existed. So to give you a feel, I think it's important to give it a feel that way. People get thrown off by different products, but when you bring it all back to booster boxes, even if you're not opening very much, if you open a few booster boxes, you're gonna get a pretty good feel for what the pull rates are versus like random products. Random products are great it's more of a surprise. You don't like pull some good stuff and then you're like, oh shit, box is dead. But with this stuff, with the ETBs, it seems like they're very random. The amount of hits, and if anyone wants to go back through and watch and check it out, the amount of hits per case varies quite a bit. The amount of particular cards that you get per case varies. The first one we only got 1 SIR, and then the other ones we got 2 in each, I guess. So maybe the average is 2 per case, but again, it seems like it's pretty randomized, and there's not really much sense in trying to figure out how many you get per unit. But it is nice to see. It's nice to have a pretty good feel for what you're getting. All right, full art trainers. There weren't very many of them, and again, this is where you could argue: are the full art trainers the same in the same slot as the full art shinies? Are they taking up the same slot? We got what I think is all 5 of them, but we'll find out on the old checklist when we get to that. We got all 5. Again, we pulled like a Nimona like 7 billion times here. All right, and then Clive was showing at the end. I think we had everything before we had a Clive, and then Clive just started showing up. We got Nimonas for days. We got Paldean students. There's 2 different types of Paldean students, so it feels like you're pulling them every time, all the time. But it's not quite that. Now, all right, full art trainer. 27 of them total. Divide by 360. We got 0.075, which is pretty cool. 7.5% chance of getting a full art trainer. 1 in 15. So their odds were kind of like, they were saying 1 in 13 and 1 in 13 for the big shinies, 1 in 15. So it could be that they're in the same rarity zone. I mean, do they have this? They have a similar symbol on them, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Who knows? And then the disparity of like how many you get might just be because there's more of one than the other. More different pulls, more different slots that are taken up by that particular rarity. So that could be the disparity there. We don't know for sure unless we saw the sheets, unless we saw or heard from somebody that knows from the factory. That's going to be a mystery. I mean, I think that's one of the mysteries that we'd be all right with it not being solved. It's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. It would be neat to know, but it doesn't matter too much. So in a hypothetical booster box, we're getting 2.4 full art trainers. Now, SIRs, this is where it's going to get grimy. We got the SIRs here. Very cool. And I do have the baby Mimikyu. The Mew is going to Ultra. The baby Mimikyu here is going to PK. So that's why those are kind of set off to the side here. So I don't forget. Now we got Penny, Iono, Gardevoir, Mew AX. So the goal of the stream was mostly to get the baby shinies. I knew they were gonna take advantage of me. They were gonna say, "Fuck you, Rattle. There's no way you're finishing this set. You can shove it in a corner, mother effer." And I would accept it. You know what? There's not much I can do about it. So we have the 4 here and 1 extra one. Charizard, nowhere to be found. What the hell, Charizard? And of course, Charizard is the most expensive one, so it'd be nice to get that. But I mean, can we really complain? We got an extra Mew. We got all the expensive cards except for the Charizard. So it's like not the end of the world. We'll get over it. We're getting over it. We're over it already. And that's about it. Now, SIRs, we got 5 divided by 360 is a 0.013 chance compared to the 0.017 chance that they had on TCG Player in their graphic there, which is a 1 in 58, a 0.61 per booster box. So that's going to be a not every booster box, but more often than not in your booster box, you're going to get one. Now the hyper rares, which they are saying are more rare, and I would have believed them. At the beginning of the stream, towards the beginning of the product that I was opening, these were showing up way less often than and this is where like sample size is just, it'll kick your butt. It'll show you something. You'll want to believe something. You'll have the most confirmation bias that you've ever had in your life. And then all of a sudden, yeah, gold and green cards start showing up. I kind of like them. I kind of hope that they do them only in this set and then like never get done again. That it just becomes like an exclusive thing to this. Maybe they do something different elsewhere. Don't beat it to death like they did with the. I don't know. I don't hate them. I mean, if they did them in every set from now until 3 generations from now, like they did with the rainbows. Maybe I'm not a fan. I guess rainbows were only... No, rainbows were two gens? 2 gens. Yeah. It seemed like they overstayed their welcome. 1 gen at the most. I think these are like weird and unique enough that they should just one and done. I know they're very similar to the black and gold cards that they had previously. We did get some dupes. We got the moose kept showing up. We got 2 extra Meese and a Xian Pao. Xian Pao's a good one to have. I don't know if these would be I was kind of saying it. I don't know if they'd be great to have in your deck. I mean, usually you're not going to be playing multiple of these Pokemon that are in here, so maybe it doesn't matter as much. You just kind of know that it is that Pokemon, but it's another one of those things that, like, at first glance, you can't really tell what the Pokemon is. That would kind of bother me a little bit, but... All right, hyper rares. These are hyper rares. Yes, they're not rainbow, but they're referred to as hyper rares. We got 8 of them total. Again, supposedly more rare than the SIRs, but we just started piling these on it towards the end there. 8 of them divided by 360.022, which is way above the 1 in 62 or 0.016 or 0.57 per booster box. Again, these guys, each of these are going to be like more often than not. If you had booster boxes, you're probably getting getting one or the other, but you're probably not getting 2 per box. Not that it would be, I mean, this is all very hypothetical because the booster boxes don't even exist, so we can't confirm or deny that, but just to give us an idea on numbers. All right, I think that's good. Let's get into the checklist and see what we're missing, see how we did, what happens if you open 40 ETBs, how much of the set do you actually have complete. Let's get into it. All right, we are on the PKMN.gg, and I didn't bring you guys along for the ride, but I checked everything off that I have. Turns out, if you open 40 Elite Trainer boxes, you might end up with 75.1% of the set. Very cool. 184 out of 245 collected. We did get most of the expensive stuff. Maybe I'll sort by like stuff that I need, stuff that I'm missing, and then we'll sort by price to see which ones are going to sting the most. And you know that Charizard is going to sting my butthole. But it's okay. We'll get one. We'll get one someday, somehow, if it kills us. All right. Now, I did check off all of the regulars, the reverses, the EXs. Very cool. If you didn't know, you guys are going to add me as a friend, username Rattle Pokemon on pkmn.gg, and you'll be able to see which cards that I am missing. Very awesome feature, and I'm glad they added it. It may or may not have been my suggestion because there wasn't a whole lot of good ways to do that. They do have a little bit of work to go on the variant side of things, but yeah, definitely, it's a beautiful site to look at. Kind of cool how it shows you the value. I mean, again, maybe some of the older stuff, don't take it with a grain of salt, but it'll give you an approximate. It'll give you an idea of what you're missing and how much it is. I would still always just look up the prices if you want to. If you're pricing things to sell, if you're pricing things for trades or anything like that, double check some of that stuff, especially if it's more expensive stuff. I didn't realize there was a Scyther in here, but we're missing him. That kind of sucks. He's got the little pink bits. But yeah, we're missing. You can see here we're into the baby shinies, and we are missing some baby shinies. My goodness, we are. Some of them. This Starmie was a little bit surprising that it's looking like it's almost $10. Some of this stuff, it's brand new. It's still very new, so I'm sure some of this will drop in price. Maybe some of it will go up. Who knows? But generally, a lot of this stuff, when it's not the new shiny thing, pun intended, we're missing the Abracadabra. When it's not the new shiny thing, it'll typically come down in price when people are after the next thing. I'm kind of excited for the next main set, but also I think at this point I'm probably just going to pick up the singles for the cards I'm missing, even though we're missing the Charizard, and it sucks to buy a Charizard. It's really expensive, but we'll see. We'll see. Do I hold off? Should I hold off, or should I just get it so that the binder is complete? What do you think, guys? What are you guys thinking? All right, we have Scizor as well. Apparently, the Scissor Boys, Scissor Girls, we're lacking in that department. The Pidgeotto, again, the Pidgey's expensive because playable. Largely to do with the Charmander. I'm missing the Ditto and the Snorlax. Snorlax is a little bit of a stinger here with the 16 Bonarinis. But you know what? It could be worse. It could be the Pikachu, which is something like 30, I think. The mice, I just really like the mice. I mean, I'll get over it. I'll buy the singles. I'll have the mice in the collection, and be able to call it. Also, it seems like all my favorite Pokemon I'm missing. What else were we? We were missing the Tatsugiri again. Another one of my favorites. Definitely my two favorites. The mice and the fish. Missing both of those. It'd be cool if the fish had the 3 different versions of the fish. That would be pretty cool. Little sneaky sneak in, if you will. Now we get into the big shinies. We're missing the Espathra. Man, I can never pronounce this. I always want to call it Espartha. It's Espathra. I've got to practice that or something. It doesn't feel like it should be the name of the Pokemon. I somehow didn't get a Gardevoir EX. We got like 69 of these tentacle porns and no Gardevoirs to go with. Unfortunate. We got infinite of these. The IRs are going to be dirt cheap because they're just so flippin' easy to pull. With the 3 of them being only 3 of them. Again, if you only open a little bit of product, you might not get all 3, but there's good news. These bad boys are seeming like they're going to be less than $1 or a little bit more than $1 already. So, get them while you don't have to rush to get them. They're pretty common. You'll find them. Now we got all of the full art trainers. Pretty cool. We're lacking in the SIR department. So we missed the Charizard, we missed the Arven, we missed the Clive. Okay, the Arven and the Clive, not that big of a deal. Nemona, also not big of a deal. I do like these like Pokeball in the center kind of theme thing. I kind of wish that if they did all of the trainers in that way. I mean, they got 3, but it's weird that they didn't do like an Iono and a Clive to match. I can't really complain though. The Iono, very awesome artwork. The Chibi artwork doesn't really do it for me, but I know a lot of people are they're just so excited that Habbo Hotel is making a return in the form of a Pokemon card. And then we're only missing the one green and gold boy, the Koraidon, which is $10. So not a big deal there. Not too shabby. I think the biggest stinger here is going to be the Charizard. Let's go to sort by need, and then we'll sort by price. There we go. All right. No, we want to sort by other price. All right, Charizard, $160, $170. Ow, my wallet. We got Clive. We got Nemona, Snorlax, Arven. Okay, so, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, there are a lot of baby shinies that we're missing here. The Pidgey and the Starmie being pretty expensive. Weird that they're almost as expensive as the Koraidon. But again, I don't. Is the Starmie? Is the Starmie being used for anything, or do people just like the Starmie? Maybe people just like the shiny, the Gen 1 shinies. Ditto is just. I mean, everyone loves blue bubblegum. Hubba Bubba for life. We got the Tandem Mouse is kind of expensive. Not exactly sure why, other than it being pretty cute. But you would think that the mouse hold would also be expensive. Are people building the mouse hold deck without me? All right, we got the baby dolphin. Pretty cool. And then it gets easier and easier to look at from here when it's only a few bucks per missing baby shiny. Not a big deal. And this is stuff that you probably don't want to be opening packs to try to find at this point, because you're going to get a lot of dupes unless you really want to get rid of dupes. But in terms of like expected value, again, the opening it should be a fun thing. This is not a set that you can open and make money on. We deleted a lot of money in the opening process, but it was a lot of fun. I had fun with you guys as always in the streams. I do get to get the opening fix out. I kind of liking, probably gonna stick with the one giant opening per set. I think it works a whole lot better. It's a lot easier for me, even though it's a lot of work all at once in order to sort everything and get everything organized and such. I've been keeping on that. My everything Scarlet and Violet Newer is all very organized, sleeved up, organized, and as good as it needs to be. But yeah, pretty sick. I like the set when they thought it was going to. PKMN.GG. Hopefully they keep it going with the variants. I think they're going to add Japanese eventually. But yeah, add me as a friend on there. Thanks for using the link tree, the discount codes and everything. You guys are the best. Take care. See you next set. Well, there'll be lots of videos in between, probably some scammers and shit. But yeah, we'll be back next set. Hopefully on release day. weather permitting. No delays. But yeah, we got rocked a little bit, but not too badly. Just Charizard doing us dirty. Take care. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.